Food shortages are coming. I'm going to tell you why and what they don't want you to know. Let's get to it. Good afternoon, my 32,500 subscribers. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe down below. We do these videos every day to help keep you in the know of everything going on. We focus mostly on food prices and ways that we can save money. Welcome back for another coffee rant with Dano. Today we are drinking the 100% Colombian brew from Great Value, the Walmart Great Value brand. And I gotta say, it's my first time trying it. It is really good. It's strong. It's the Arabica beans of the 100% Colombian. Really good. So it's going to be a lengthy video. So if you need to hit pause, get your coffee together. Let's have coffee together and talk about this matter. It is pretty disturbing, but it's nothing that we haven't talked about on this channel before. So like I said, if you're new, make sure you stick around, subscribe, give us a like. We really appreciate it. So we've been seeing a lot of things in the grocery stores lately. I've been getting a lot of comments on shortages. Sure enough, these shortages are things that we have had discussed over the past few months. Rice being a big one lately. Sugar is hitting some states. A lot of our followers out in Arizona are talking about shortages of sugar. And I have a couple feeling, a lot of people who have been moving out of California have been moving to Nevada and Arizona. We've been getting a lot of viewers there lately, probably because the algorithm of YouTube is sending us your way, because you're probably dealing with a lot of issues with empty shelves and a lot of different food shortages out there. Well, we're going to go over how this all ties together and why they don't want you to know these things. Because if you fall down the rabbit hole of the internet, it is very hard to find any viable information that is worth a darn. I was looking through an old article of Yahoo Finance of what things were going to be. Now, this was dated back May 19, 2023, but I read through it and I was like, wow, it's amazing how many things aren't true in this, but there are a couple truths. One of the things that they were talking about is price gouging in the grocery stores, whether it's the grocery store or the manufacturers. I believe it's a little bit of both, if not heavily both, but we'll get into that. We're going to talk about the shortages here first. Rice being one, sugar, flour is in some states, a lot of southern states. We had one of our longtime viewers from Kentucky say that their Walmart was completely out of flour. Now, we've seen this at our Walmart, not completely out, but pretty low. We've seen them low on sugar. It's not unusual to see these kind of things missing out of our Walmart. We've been seeing different changes in like Kroger with the way they're displaying flour. We've seen a lot less, but them adding things to make it look like it hasn't gone anywhere, right? You really do have to pay attention to these things or you would miss it. Lots of trickery in the grocery stores. Always a lot of trickery. Moving things down aisles, right? Different, more expensive things that would usually be on top of the shelves that are hard to reach. It's like you almost don't want to reach because it's so expensive, right? We've been seeing more of these products drop down, not just at Kroger. We see it at Meijer. A lot of, I noticed with some different like pickles, they're really trying to push the Frederick's brand at Meijer, which I understand that's their products. And really good. If you have Meijer, you should try some of the Frederick's brand products when they're on sale. If they're not on sale, they're pretty expensive. But we're seeing an influx of different price increases on main staples. Now, we're going to see cooking oil and stuff like that probably go up more in price. Now, I feel like the crazy price increase that happened well over a year ago with famous items like Crisco, they're banking on their diehard fans of Crisco. And yes, I love Crisco too, but we've been using store brand cooking oils because they're way cheaper. That is why I think eventually Crisco's going to kind of fizzle out. I don't think it'll go away completely, but you're seeing stores sell less and less of it because they're selling it for $6, $7, right? Kroger is. But we'll see it for like $5.99 at Meijer. And we'll get into like all this different price gouging and stuff. But again, want to get through the shortages first because we've been getting flooded with comments on a lot of different things. And not just food, laundry detergent. Been getting a lot of comment. People have been sending us emails of a lot of different laundry detergent. Let me know down in the comments if your laundry detergent has either went way up in price or have shrunk in size. We've noticed with Tide that Tide knocked some prices off, and that is what drew my attention to what is really going on here. What was once 107 loads at 154 ounces is now 146 ounces for $1 cheaper. But they've knocked a lot out of it, so it's like it draws your attention because the regular price is very cheap compared to what it was. I mean, it's still a high price. But you knocked off a lot here. What was once 107 loads is now, they say, 94 to 100 loads. So I guess depending on how much you use, they don't even have a set number on it anymore. It's, well, if you use a little bit, it'd be 94 loads. If you use what we recommend, it's going to be 100, right? Because that's what they want. They want you to use more so that you have to buy more. That's business. We get it, okay? That's manufacturer's business. Lord knows how much they're actually selling it to Kroger for. $5? I don't know, probably more than that, but we're seeing things like we covered flour. Flour, I feel, is more of a deception now because we can always find flour, but we haven't seen the prices increase yet. Some people have said that some of their brand flours have been shrinking to 4 pounds. Now the average has been 5 pounds for a lot of different sugars like Gold Medal, King Arthur, even store brands around here have all been 5 pounds. But I've noticed in the comments a lot of people have been asking me if some of these products have shrunk down to 4 pounds. None of them yet, at least here. But that is probably what will happen because I feel like the prices have already gotten so high on flour that's what's going to happen. They're going to knock a pound out of it to save money that way. I don't know. They're probably still trying to figure that out. But let's go in for a minute. As I was looking on this Yahoo Finance page, some ways to where things did not work out the way that it was originally flowing, right? Because back in May, you know, they were saying in this article that beef and produce, fruits and vegetables were going to significantly come down in price. We have not seen that. They've skyrocketed in price. And I mean soaring. And the thing was, when I was reading that, I was thinking, like, how could you have not known this then? Because of all the cattle and everything that all the farmers had to take down last year. You should have had these numbers that this was going to get less and less for the next year. You know, we need more of them to grow in size. They were losing money. They had to do something. Guys, I feel like this past week has been just a hurricane of events. I just, with Smithfield, and again, if you have missed any of these videos, we've done a lot of these little news breaks over the last week. We've covered, so far, in just the last week and a half, we have covered the yellow truck, the yellow freight company that has fired 32,000 employees. None of their trucks. You know, hopefully those drivers and everybody employed are finding other jobs by now. I hope and pray you are. And all of our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved in all of these different situations. We have Smithfield Foods, which has shut down 4 plants. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Tyson. Tyson shut down 4 plants in 3 states: Indiana, Arkansas, and Missouri. Okay, and then we had Smithfield, which has shut down 35 of their hog farmers in Missouri. Okay, that is a big number. That is a really big number. So by this, right, the things that they want you to see in the mainstream of things, these are the things. So when we see pork go up to an outrageous price, we can sit there and think, well, okay, that's got to be from the farmers that, right? Because this is going to take away from that. You better believe that these prices are going to go up on pork. Right? We've been seeing some great prices on pork lately over the last few months, and now now it is just out there. Now it's out there, so we know it's the set in the brain that when we see these higher prices on pork, we have a reason. We know, right? Like with the eggs, with the chickens, and the avian flu that went around. They weren't from years past. From what I understand, with farmers and chicken farmers and stuff like that, you know, they had veterinarians come out to check their chickens, and then they would take, if, you know, that this wasn't a new thing, right? That if some of them had the flu, thing or whatever, then they would take them down and then they would test the other batches. And if they were fine, it was fine. Everything was fine. But now it seems like since this happened, they just took them all out. They took them all out. There was no like, nope, you can't have these. You got to take them all out. Things are changing. Regulations are changing. Things are just moving so quickly anymore that you don't have time to even think or process it. And these are the things that they don't want you to know. They don't want you to understand that this is the way we did it in the past, right? Like everything going with the fake meat, the lab meat, and all this stuff. What information can you really find out about this? Because everything that I have read or gone into, it doesn't seem like it's more efficient than the all-natural way, the way that's worked for thousands of years. You know, like I said in our last video, it's like, I like my steak. I like my chicken. I don't need anything that is not real, right? I don't know what's in it, and there's no definitive proof that you're telling me of what's in it and what's not. So we don't know, and then if you don't know, well, then you probably shouldn't eat it until you do know, you know? But as far as the shortages, there's going to be a lot of little things slowly going away. I feel like the price is going to outweigh the customer. The customer's not going to pay for it. One thing I have noticed, let me know if you noticed this down in the comments. Look at your favorite, like, frozen meals. Look at pizzas. Look at your frozen microwave meals. Some of these things are going away and nobody's even saying anything about it. Look at like Healthy Choice, Lean Cuisine. They're not making them anymore. They're making, I'm noticing like meatloaf everywhere, but they don't have like a chicken one that they've had for years and years and years. You're seeing a lot of this stuff disappear. Why? Because nobody's buying it. Nobody's buying it because you're charging $4 or $5 for a little microwave meal that doesn't even taste good anymore. You know, now me and Jessica, we don't do microwave meals anymore, but you know, when I was younger, I had a whole freezer full of them, and they were dirt cheap. And I was poor. I was broke, you know, and it was nice. It was nice. I mean, you get those little pot pies, those banquet pot pies that are $1.50 now. You could get them for 50 cents. I mean, it was a great deal, and you probably have to have 2 of them to fill you up. But point being is that the more and more other things, and we see ingredients start going up in price too. Well, when we see ingredients go up in price, like salt, sugar has skyrocketed. It has. We literally saw, any of you who follow the channel, we were documenting this every week. Every week, these prices were going up on sugar. 4 weeks in a row. It went from $2.19 to $2.49 to $2.79 to $2.99, and now $3.19 at Kroger and $3.15 at Meijer. But both stores went up. Do you know what that tells me? That tells me that sugar is in short supply. Sugar's in short supply. We've been seeing less and less. Not so much here in Cincinnati, but I've been getting a lot of comments from you guys. It's been hard to find a lot of sugar out in Arizona. It's kind of what I was getting about, you know, more and more people moving into Arizona. These stores have to make up for supply and demand to know that there's a lot more people. It's getting too expensive in California, so people are moving out. A lot of our viewers on the channel here are some of them. And, you know, it is what it is. We have to just do like we always say on the channel. Buy up the sales as you see them. Make sure you have a little bit of stock. Aim to set your preps high, guys. Prep on. Make it. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. You find a deal. You find these good deals. Luckily, we're able to do this every day because I'm out displaying this information as much as I can to help save everybody, including us. Because what you don't see behind the camera, behind the scenes, is me stocking up on all this stuff. And I know people ask me, you know, show us what you buy and all that stuff. Well, I don't, you know, it's not really part of the thing. You know, it's like, because we get too many angry comments. Oh, you shouldn't buy that. You shouldn't buy Cheerios. You shouldn't buy Raisin Bran. Like, come on. You know, it's I got tired of those comments, so we quit showing what food we buy and stuff. But anyway, so what we knew from what this article had said in Yahoo Finance, which if you want to look this up, you can, food shortages of 2023 was some of this article that I read from Yahoo Finance that popped up from May 19th, 2023. And it's kind of where I wanted to tie this video in because they were talking about reasons why, and this is the question I always get. always get this question on the channel. Why is inflation cooling down? Or how is inflation cooling down, but grocery prices aren't, and they're actually rising? Well, there's a few things to that. One, leveling off time. Okay, we've talked about that things were high for so long that it takes a while for things to come down. My opinion on that, even saying it right now, it sounds like a lie. It sounds like bull crap. Okay, I mean, it really is. It really is. What the real reason is that stores are taking full advantage of this. They're taking advantage of this, not just the stores, the manufacturers. They are pricing things up like nobody's business because they are wanting you to think that this is normality. They're wanting you to think that this is the way it's got to be. This is the way it's going to be from here on out. And it may be. It may be. Honestly, I don't think prices are ever coming down. I think that this will create competition in the future, as it seems to always do. But I don't think that prices are going to come down to the point to where we've seen them even back in 2020. I think it's over. I think things have gone up so high. And then when they start to trickle off, right? This is why we're talking about some of these other events that have happened. When things start trickling down, that we have another event, right? I mean, it's like every week. Oh, this stuff went down. Look at the cereal. It's gone down. Well, we're out of grain. Raise it up. And they don't wait a second for that. They don't wait a second, right? I always say that Kroger, and we always compare Kroger because it is the giant, right, across the entire United States. So you even if you don't have a Kroger in your state or a Kroger-owned store like King Soopers or Mariano's or Food for Less, Kroger owns all these. I mean, I say it all the time. They're like the Walt Disney World of grocery stores. And now they're buying out Albertsons and Safeway. So if you don't have Kroger products yet, don't worry. They're coming. And a lot of Kroger products I like. Excuse me. But if you don't have the competition to override... Like, okay, so Kroger had... Let's just take cereal. Let's take a big box of Cheerios. Most of you who follow the channel saw that the mega-sized box of Cheerios was on sale this week for $3.49, which is a great deal. Regular price was $6.99. So what happened? We saw that they were getting, they got to get rid of it. Nobody's buying it for $7. But look what happened. They actually have the guts to sell the box for $3.49 while raising the regular price to $7.49. So buy Cheerios now, or you're going to pay an extra 50 cents on top of this already outrageously ridiculous price that we're putting on tap for it. Now, is that General Mills? General Mills owns Cheerios. Is that General Mills or is that Kroger? They don't know. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know. Kroger doesn't mind taking the blame. Kroger, yeah, sure. Because they're making the money, right? It's like it's one thing after another. There are so many different excuses for everything these days. Some of them are true, and I don't want to take away from some of that stuff. Like some just employees, people not wanting to work, things like that. Or trucks not being able to carry a full load because the product's not there. But here's the main thing, okay? And this is what we were talking about a little bit before. I know I'm kind of all over the place here, but I am coming to a main point here. Look at all the different ingredients that is going up in price that cost you money to make things from scratch at home. Flour is going up. Sugar is getting ridiculous. I wouldn't be surprised if sugar was $5 by Christmas. There'll be a sale for $4.49. Guys, I'm just saying we need to be prepared because it is coming. It is coming. We're seeing meat prices go through the roof. What are we seeing now, too? We're seeing sale prices on meat, right? At Kroger and Meijer. I don't even know, but I quit looking at meat at Walmart because it's just way overpriced. And we're seeing the sales go up every time they have a sale. We're seeing the regular price of different steaks, $13.99, $14.99 a pound for the cheapest quality that you can get. And then we're seeing the sales go up. Like we saw sirloin at Meijer today for $9.99 a pound on sale. $12.99 regular price. So we just don't buy it. Like, I'm not going to pay those kind of prices. That's crazy. Are they expecting that people are? Maybe. Maybe if you have $15.99 a pound for a ribeye or a T-bone or something, yeah. Yeah, that sirloin's looking pretty good for $9.99 a pound, I guess. I just won't eat steak. I just won't buy it. Or you go to your local butcher and give them the money like we do. That is what we've been doing all the time. Yeah, it's about those prices or maybe a little higher, but I would rather pay that kind of money knowing that I'm supporting my local community and keeping them in business, because I'll tell you what, it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard for local butchers. We have a vegetable stands over here. I always try to visit them, keep them in business. And I'll tell you what, they do good business. They got long lines. They have little stands up everywhere. They do good. Great tomatoes the size of your head. And yeah, you're going to pay for it. It's a little more expensive, but you're supporting local farmers. They're making more money probably off of everyone coming to their stands than they would if they were to contract out to Kroger. Right? I mean, or anywhere. I say Kroger because it's one we can all relate to. I'm not pointing the finger just at Kroger here, okay? I love Kroger. I do. I always say that Kroger is the most expensive store where you can save the most money. And it really is. And I know that sounds crazy, but that is, if you watch the channel, then you completely understand what I'm talking about. Because this is how it works. They have the best sales. And it's why I love going to Kroger, mostly for you guys, because I know that we're going to be able to find a lot of things that people have been asking about. A couple years ago, when we were doing this channel, we saw empty shelves all over the place. And if you're anywhere in America, you probably know what I'm talking about. I mean, there were things, I would go to the store and not be able to find anything. I mean, it was so low, out of items. I don't see us getting back to that. I don't see that happening. What I do see is that these products will disappear. You won't see something that you've bought before. We're getting comments like this every day. Different products. Dan, have you seen this? Dan, have you seen that? I'm like, no, I haven't seen it in years. And that's usually the common answer between me and all of our followers. We have a great YouTube community on here that constantly communicates between each other, letting you know, okay, like I saw 2 of you from Oklahoma the other day who were commenting on stores, right? That you weren't able to find this. Someone was on here and explained to you where to find it. And that's the kind of things that we're doing on the channel here that I think are just awesome, right? If you have a question about something, say something. Leave it down in the comments. Abbreviate your state, right? You can abbreviate your city. Don't give any personal information at all, ever, right? Just city and state. That way, whoever is following on the channel that is from that city and state and can relate, or if somebody's asking something, we were having a big issue with baby formula, and that was going on for like a year and a half. Around here in Cincinnati, we've had no problems with baby formula, but we're still getting a lot of different comments. We got some comments from some of our followers out in Arizona. It seems like a lot of West Coast problem right now. It really does. Who was it? Not Alabama, Arkansas. We were getting some comments the other day. I got a couple emails. People were sending a couple photographs of no baby food. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, wow, that looks so familiar. But I was thinking to myself, too, like, I haven't gotten a lot of comments on baby food in a while, baby formula. Hopefully it's coming in. And then as soon as I do that and make that video, people are sending me pictures of different places not having baby formula. Pet food is another one. They are screaming out aluminum can shortages again. Aluminum can, whatever it is, it's causing cat food to not come in. Now, we're not having an issue here yet, but we are getting comments from all around the country that it is low or out in some stores. And one of those stores was Pet Supply. I think you said Pet Supply store. Isn't that crazy that it's like you are a pet store? Like, that is your only thing that you have to get in. We had this issue with PetSmart. I did a video at PetSmart like a year and a half ago. And was like, couldn't find any daggone cat food. I mean, they had like the big, huge bags, but there was no like small, cheap bags, you know, for people to just get by because, you know, with prices going up on everything, we all have to be able to eat. You know, some people have huge families. Some people have even just themselves or themselves and their wife or, you know, a lot of kids. You know, it's like you have to be able to provide for your entire family, and it is getting harder and harder to do that. And that is why we are here. We are the boots on the ground to get you through the different prices of everything going on. We understand that all the prices are not the same in all the stores all around the country. Some of them change from just 30 miles north of here. But we are able to make comparisons within each other to at least be able to, one, find the product, know where to get it in the city and state, and two, try to find a good idea of where those prices are. I know a lot of viewers don't like using digital coupons. Digital coupons are part of the world now, and we have to do these things. If you really want to save at places like Kroger and some other stores, you really do have to do the digital coupon thing. And but if you don't, at least we can still communicate and be able to find the products where they are. But guys, I'm telling you right now, I don't see it getting any better right now. I don't see it getting better right now. I don't see it getting better until... I don't even know. I don't want to guess. I don't want to speculate. But I think it's going to be a rough few months. I think meat prices are going to only... Meat prices may not go up, okay? But what I mean by going up is that they're what I saw today at Meijer... Again, if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe down below so that you get all of our morning videos too. We go through the stores to show you firsthand what's going on and how to save and all this stuff. And the one thing I noticed at Meijer today, a little preview, was that when I was looking at all the other steak, and they had a lot of steak in that they haven't had in the last month. No sales at all. No sales. And I think that's what we're going towards, is that, yeah, prices may not go, I can't imagine they would go up any more than what they are right now because they just won't sell them. That meat was just sitting there. There's no sale. There's no sale. They're pushing the sirloin here, which, I mean, I don't have a problem with sirloin, but $9.99 a pound, I mean, that's a bit much, and that's the sale price. But we're not seeing any sales on meat. We're not seeing it at Kroger either. We're not seeing it at Kroger. So that's what's happening. They're leveling off the heavy price and just not having it on sale. So if you want ribeye or something, well, $14.99 a pound. No, thank you. I will go to my local butcher and I will pay that price and know that it's going into good hands. You know, but again, not to discredit too many things from some of our major grocery stores. Thank God they are there. You know, thank goodness that we have these outlets to get food. Because really, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's nice to have supermarkets and stuff to be able to just get food from and not to have to do all this work in life ourselves. But sometimes I start wondering, like, you know what? I would love to have a farm. I would love to do this all myself. It's a lot of work, though. You know, I think a lot of people don't understand how much work. I come from a line of some farmers and stuff, and a lot of gardeners, and big gardeners, and up from Dayton, Ohio. You know, and I can't wait to be able to have a huge garden someday. But we got to get some land before we can do that, and to do that, we need these house prices to come down way lower than what they are right now, because it is absolutely insane, and we are not going to be house broke. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the rant tonight. I hope it helped. Stay prepared. Make sure that you're ready for some of this, because we are seeing these. When the prices skyrocket on things, that is when they start to disappear. They'll come back at a higher price, or demand is just too much, and then we may see it gone for long periods of time like we did a couple years ago. I don't think we're going to see the massiveness that it was a couple years ago, but it is most definitely moving in the same direction and trend of what happened when we started doing this and covering this every day. So guys, just be safe, stay prepped, take care of your family, your friends, be there for each other, stock up on some food when you can get the right price. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for watching.